Raise a glass, let the worries slip away. Liquid lunch, we're living for today. There's Troy laughing with his gin and a grin, telling stories about where he's been. Boomer's got whiskey, he's loosening his tie, chasing dreams under a midday sky. The bartender knows us, he's mixing with flair. Every sip's a moment we're happy to share. Liquid lunch, pour it smooth, let it flow. Friends round the table where the good times grow. Raise a glass, let the worries slip away. Liquid lunch, we're living for today. The clock don't matter, we're lost in the vibe. Jazz in the air, feel the soul come alive. From martinis to bourbon, we're riding the wave. Stealing this hour, it's the freedom we crave. The sun's still shining, but we're in our zone. This bar's our shelter, our temporary home. One more round before the world calls us back. Savor the moment, keep the blues in the rack. We'll laugh and we'll toast till the afternoon fades. Memories made in these liquid escapades. Liquid lunch, pour it smooth, let it flow. Friends round the table where the good times grow. Raise a glass, let the worries slip away. Liquid lunch, we're living for the day. So here's to the daylight, the drinks and the fun. Our liquid lunch, till the next one comes. With a wink and a smile, we'll be back real soon. Chasing that jazz under the high noon.
Salute and welcome. Happy Thursday. Thankful that we made it this far today. At least I am. Looking forward to seeing what all of you are thankful for today. I, of course, start every stream being thankful for every single one of you being here. That's why I want to greet each one of you individually. Starting with Big Al of Big Al Presents, who says, Happy Thankful Thursday, Liquid Lunchers. Have a great show. Thank you so much, my friend. Of course, the love of my life, whom I am the most thankful for, stopping in to say, like, share, subscribe, become a member, leave a comment, and gift a membership if you're feeling particularly generous this holiday season. Thank you very much, my dear. So thankful for you. She reminds everyone that we're doing a members drive right now for as little as $1.99 a month. You get membership, which includes Members Night at the Movies. That's 4 movies, a movie a week. You know, that could be 4 or more, depending on how many weeks there are in the month. Membership only. Membership has its privileges. Where are you going to get a deal like that? If you're so inclined, please consider joining at the next level up. Yes, absolutely. Gifted memberships are also welcome. Yes. And of course, Netter was in a meeting this morning, and then she's going into another meeting now. I appreciate her so much. I really, really do. I also appreciate Lynn Green. She says, surprise! Yeah, she can't usually make it here live, but apparently the machine went down, so it was a half day for her today. Though she's running out of vacation and got to marshal it carefully. Yeah, I understand that. Here's someone else who's having to deal with restrictions on his holiday time. Merpo, says Mark Malnikoff. Not feeling thankful today. Going to be like Doomcock and stay angry. There's another thing that I am thankful for, and I'm increasingly thankful on Thursdays for the Wednesdays that Doomcock invites me to hang out with him over on Pop Culture Breakdown. He had me on this last night specifically because they were talking about the movie that we like, and it was Hellraiser. And he had me on as a subject matter expert. And Netter was like, yeah, I could tell you were a little excited about that one. Yeah, I really was. Jonathan Conroy says, hail all and smash the like button and enjoy the show. I do hope you do enjoy the show, every single one of you. In fact, Mark says, smash the like button like you mean it. Like, subscribe, become a member. Dah. Exactly. And Enigma Severus, you're alive! We got Troy here, people. He lives. Yes, rumors of my death are greatly exaggerated. Well, slightly exaggerated anyway. But Connie Cleary, Birdwoman of YouTube, welcome. Fluff Chick Productions. Yes, and it is lunchtime. Curtis Selby, the tired midnight vlogger. Nothing to see here, citizen. And I think that catches us up, unless there's somebody lurking who hasn't said hi yet, which nothing says you have to, but we always like it when you do because it's encouraging to know that you're here. I am thankful that despite how tired I feel right now, I think I got a pretty decent night's sleep last night. I woke up in the middle of the night, just a little stuffy, couldn't get back to bed. So I got up, set up this stream, set up Netter's stream for tonight. And after taking care of a couple other things, I just said, okay, I'm going to try going back to sleep. And I slept for another couple more hours. I'm still just feeling really, really tired, but my gosh, I don't know. I guess one of the things I'm thankful for is that could be worse, right? Could be worse. Oh wow, you've given me something else to really be thankful for. Nate, of course, coming in. Welcome, Nate, to say like, share, subscribe, comment, become a member, and sure enough, he gave a gifty. Thank you so much for that. That gifty went to the Vagrancy Horror, who is going to be joining me along with a bunch of other horror channels in our sphere on Halloween night. So what a perfect timing for him to receive a membership here. Welcome, Christoph, the Vagrancy Horror. Thank you very much. But yeah, there you go. And so yeah, what am I thankful for today? Well, of course, I started out with being grateful for getting to hang out with Doomcock and the folks, and he's got a great crew over there. They're all really, really wonderful. I mean, especially Gary and Andy, who I hung out with this past March at MegaCon. Spent the weekend hanging out with them. They're just great people in person. And so that leads to one of the other things that I'm thankful for is, and I know this isn't going to, I think a lot of the things I'm going to talk about that I'm going to share gratitude for are going to sound like they're things I should not be thankful for. So today, pretty much right after I finish the stream, I'm going to take the car in to be serviced, which is going to cost me. I am not looking forward to that, I got to be honest, but I'm taking it in because I scheduled a maintenance appointment. I got to, get the oil changed. I got to change some filters and whatnot. And the big one is I'm going to have to replace all 4 tires. Why am I doing that? Because they're due. Better to have it done than have something go wrong. But I need the car in tip-top working order for next March, because we are once again going to be driving down to Florida for MegaCon. So I need that car in working order. Yes, scheduled. I pronounce it correctly. You know, there is no SCK or SK in the word. You know, just saying. But yeah, so I'm taking the car in. I'm going to be sitting there for a while because we only have the one car, which will give me an opportunity to get caught up on. I'm going to finish reading Batman 89, and I'm going to start and probably finish Batman Echo, which is the sequel to Batman 89, which just released this month. So I'll get caught up on that. Which I'm kind of looking forward to. And then, of course, after I've done that, I'll do another Batman 89 stream to kind of tell all of you about it and give you a little review and so forth. What else? So I'm looking through. So I'm going to bring up the news here, or at least what I consider to be the news. Let me share my screen so you can see what I'm looking at here. There we go. So, of course, when I refer to the news, I'm referring to that Park Place because it's a news outlet that I can trust. And I'm seeing a lot of what on the surface would be negatives. And you generally want to be grateful for other people's misfortune, right? However, when that misfortune is the result of their bad decisions, right? You get a little sense of schadenfreude, but you also see the universe working the way it's supposed to. You see the balancing happening. When you see things work out the way they should, in a way that presents a positive for you going forward, you might be inclined to be thankful for that. So, one battle after another box office, DiCaprio's Antifa rallying cry. Okay, I just got demonetized just for saying that. I know. Set to lose $100 million. Now, should I feel badly for a movie company that loses $100 million on creating what is essentially the birth of a nation for the modern generation, right? Let's understand our history and let's understand what propaganda is. That, we used to say get woke, go broke. This is beyond get woke. This is get neo-Marxist, go broke. Get brown shirt, go broke. So no, I don't feel badly about that. I don't feel badly for anyone who worked on this movie. Why? Because they all got paid, right? When a movie loses $100 million, it doesn't mean Leonardo DiCaprio doesn't receive his whatever pay, he was expected to make. It doesn't mean that the gaffers and the Dahley grips and all that don't get paid. They got paid. They don't care whether the movie does well or not. They're already on to their next job. But this is the kind of thing that does not deserve to be rewarded. So we are sending a loud message. This is people voting with their wallets, saying we're not interested in your ridiculousness. Well, that's true, but then okay, so just to explain what Lynn is saying, if he's a producer on this, right, and he put money into this film, and he is part of his contract is that he receives a cut of any profits, yeah, he's losing money. But yes, in which case he chose poorly, right? And that's what I'm saying. I don't feel badly for those people, the people that were responsible for this movie losing money, on it. It also really hurts his career because he's been involved in a succession of flops now after this, and a lot of these Hollywood self-important type people are. They're realizing that they are not as beloved as they think they are, or as much as they are to themselves. By simply accepting the role, the audience subconsciously associates the actor as a believer of the message of the film, so we equate DiCaprio as a believer of the message in the film. Actually, okay, so yes, what you're saying is absolutely true at a straight-on level, but I think it's even more than that because I do think that he is a true believer in this leftist mindset. So it's not even a subconscious, inadvertent thing. It is true and overt, even if he believes what is communicated or not. Yes, but I'm saying he does. I'm saying he absolutely does, based on his behavior in other ways. Right? I can't hear what you're saying over how loud your actions speak. Right? Because actions speak louder than words. Let's not even leave the front page. We're still on the front page. We're just reading headlines here, right? Peacemaker Season 2 suffers major ratings drop as nearly 40% of viewers turn out. Now, if we were to go into the article, we could get into numbers and stats and stuff, and that's probably getting more into the weeds than we really need to. Let's just be thankful that what we all crossed our fingers and hoped that James Gunn would actually do a good job with DC. It has become very clear that he is not. That he doesn't care what the fans like or want. He doesn't care about the canon of DC Comics. He doesn't care about heroic storytelling, right? He maybe doesn't care one way or the other about political messaging and all that kind of stuff, but at the same time, it seems like there's a lot of that in this. So that in and of itself is a great, just like the previous article, perfectly good reason for him to fail, and for us to withhold our money and our viewership. But he also treats an IP belonging to Warner Brothers that he doesn't own, that he doesn't have a stake in, as his own personal playground, that he could do whatever he wants, right? If you are requested by a wealthy friend, I'm going to be out of the country for a while. I want you to stay in my mansion, right? And just take care of it. Keep it clean, make sure nobody breaks in, upkeep things, maintain the grounds and whatnot. I trust you, right? And then you go in and you invite all of your friends and your friends' friends and people you don't know for a big party and smash everything up and, piss in the potted plant and all this kind of stuff. Well, you're an asshole. That's that's James Gunn. And that's actually a lot of these Hollywood types. They don't care about these properties. You can argue even whether or not the owners of these properties care about them, but I don't think they even realize what they have to care enough about them. So as the another DC cinematic universe fails, I just see it as the just desserts for these stupid people. I'm kind of ignoring the big one here. Universal Orlando testing individual express passes reminiscent of Disney's controversial Lightning Lane. The only reason it was controversial was because it was a huge upsell for Disney to rake in money to provide you with nothing. The Lightning Lane idea was that if you're willing to spend a premium price, you receive the premium of being able to skip lines, for the rides that you and events you wanted to go to. But because nobody is going to Disney, there are no lines. So spending this premium price on Lightning Lane is just throwing money away. And that's the only thing that really made it controversial. The idea behind it, pretty sound. It makes a lot more sense for Universal, right? Because Universal, with their Epic Universe, is new. And the place is packed, so there are long lines. So there is value to paying for a premium service that'll allow you to skip lines there. So I guess what I'm inadvertently saying is here's another example of Disney going bust because they deserve it. For so many reasons. Don't even have to get into it. Excuse me, I just hiccuped. Apologize for that. This is interesting. I have not seen... have they actually dropped the newest season, or the last season of Stranger Things? I don't know. I mean, I've seen all the other seasons. I figure I should probably just see this thing out. But Netflix shot down the Duffers' dreams of a Stranger Things theatrical finale, and may have driven them to Paramount. Good. With the Skydance buyout, I'd like to see Paramount start rising like a phoenix. And if that means pulling in talent, good. And, I'm not going to say anything about a particular hashtag in relationship to this particular streaming service, because that's a great way to get your channel shadow banned and stuffed in a corner. But guys, why are you still giving money to Netflix? It's foolish. Quit giving money to people that hate you. But if you do wish to support people and companies that actually care about you, I'm not even going to be like Jeremy Boring, who says, well, I don't specifically love you, but I don't mean you any particular harm. Well, I have a little bit more personal relationship with most of you all, so I actually do have very positive feelings for each one of you. I love you all just enough that you don't feel uncomfortable, but that you know you're loved. So indulge me this as I tell you what we've got coming up in the next week in what I think is a slightly more entertaining way than me just rattling on, and we'll come back to your comments in just under 3 minutes.
You're watching Liquid Lunch, streaming every weekday at noon Central, 1 p.m. Eastern. Let's sip together.
This Thursday night, Netter will introduce us to Robert James, the writer and director of the COVID lockdown dramedy 15 Days, and hear his story that led him to create this independent film and where we can see it. Join us this Thursday at 9 Central, 10 Eastern on Netter's Network.
This week on Saturday Night at the Movies, you decide which film we will see. The poll is up on Last Call with Troy Pacelli's Community tab, and The Mist is in the lead, but you can change that with your vote. Then join us for Saturday Night at the Movies, this week on Last Call with Troy Pacelli and Netter's Network, and Big Al Presents, Saturday at 9 Central, 10 Eastern.
Every Sunday evening, Aged Boomer and Last Call with Troy Pacelli bring you the rundown of the week's geek news, or at least what they think is interesting. You may have heard about it elsewhere, but Boomer and Pacelli spin it like only two old geezers can. It's Geeky Geezers, every Sunday evening at 8 Central, 9 Eastern.
This week on Live from Sparkwood and 21, we'll be watching part 2 of the series created by Mark Frost and David Lynch called On the Air. This sitcom follows the staff of a fictional 1950s television network as they produce a live variety show called The Lester Guy Show, often with disastrous results. Join us this Tuesday at 7:30 Central, 8:30 Eastern on Deleted Scenes and Affiliates.
Igorian, famed genius and scientist, has created the lethal tachyon funnel, a weapon powerful enough to blast the Federation out of the galaxy, and he's willing to do a deal with Avon and the crew. It would be a simple exchange, the ultimate weapon for the ultimate computer, Aurak. Join us for Netta's favourite Blake 7 episode, Orbit, this Tuesday at 10 Central, 11 Eastern.
We now return to our liquid lunch.
Nate says James Gunn is not a good studio head. He is just a creator. And by putting him in charge, it's like having the children run the kindergarten without adult supervision. You may be as bad as he. Yeah, Zach. He's as bad as Zack Snyder. That's absolutely true. We had our hopes, but maybe even worse. Yeah, it's a shame. It really is. But look, blame Zaslav. He was the one who specifically said, we've got to make, characters like Superman, the cornerstone of our thing. Okay, well, you didn't bring in the right people to make that happen, which is sad, which is very, very sad. $1 million idea. Well, $1 billion idea. Take all the woke managed films and remake them as conservative and see what the public really wants. I got $50,000. Who is in? Oh gosh, I'll tell you, if I had $50,000, unfortunately, I wouldn't be investing it in other people's companies. I'd be investing it right here to make this a success. But hold on to your money if you are looking to invest in a studio, because it's entirely possible. This is just a rumor that I may have heard about in the backdrop of the YouTuber streamer sphere, but someone in our circle of channels and outlets here on YouTube may very well be looking to start a studio in the southeastern region. Just saying. So if you're looking for something to invest in, maybe in the next couple of years, that might be a possibility. Something else to be thankful for and to look forward to. I canceled for Cuties. Good. I don't know why everyone didn't, but if you didn't for that, now's the time. I'd like to watch Ancient Apocalypse Season 2, but not paying for it. Well, there are ways. There are ways if you are savvy. I can't even bring up that comment there, Nate. And please don't use those hashtags, because YouTube is zeroing in on them in live time and taking down live streams for exactly those kinds of comments. So please don't do that. Don't. And unfortunately, you're right, because they look at it and all they see is comic book, right? And it doesn't take a lot to understand motivational hero, right? These are... it doesn't matter if it's Superman or Jesus. It doesn't matter if it's Captain America or... I don't know, a Martin Luther King biopic or something. It's we need to be inspired by historic and fictional and mytho-historic figures to give us a vision. If for no other reason, to just make us feel better about our lives and have a vision going forward. Hollywood used to understand that, and now they really don't. It may be because a lot of these executives are just so jaded, they just don't understand. Yeah. That's the worst part. He makes what he wants, not what will sell. And it's not his studio to make those kinds of decisions, right? So the studios need to start saying, hey, we contracted you for millions and millions of dollars, and you're not providing us a return on our investment. Fix it, or you won't work for us anymore. You know? Hollywood will be striking again next year, and it's getting more and more pointless because, and we said this during the last strike. What is their leverage? Their leverage is, you need us to make these films, therefore meet our demands or we walk. But they were concerned because they knew that there was technology on the horizon that was coming to take their jobs. That technology is here, and they are losing their jobs. They don't have the leverage that they did. And welcome, Leia Plus Size. Good to see you. Troy wanted to say, I enjoyed you on Doomcock last night. Thank you so much. Always look forward to seeing you on the show. I super appreciate that. But, a peek behind the curtain on the Doomcock show, I kind of muscled my way in on this one. I was on the previous week, and when they were talking about what movie they wanted to do for this week, and they said Hellraiser. I said, "Oh, please, can I be there for that? I'm a real super fan." And he said, "Yeah, okay." But otherwise, I'm just there as a fill-in guy, so it's random whether I'm going to be on or not. This was the first time I knew a week in advance that I was going to be on. But if you ever want to see me for certain, I am here every lunchtime throughout the week, and Friday nights for last call every single time. So you know where to find me. They think Deadpool and Watchmen are the same thing. Yeah, they're very, very different, aren't they? They really, really are. Or they think that Superman and Punisher are the same. Yeah. Oh, God. Oh, man. Yeah, and those masks weren't hiding much to begin with, so let's be honest about that. Fine. Another $1 million idea. Movie execs need to begin putting on production meetings for the public to get input on the future films that are being considered. You could see tickets, food, and you might be saying more. You could allot with them, kind of like Comic-Con, but with future productions. See, here's the only problem with that, Enigma. They already have access to all that information because of social media. Back in the day, studios used to do market research. They would get groups, and I guess they still do it to some degree these days. They get people together, show them a movie, and say, "What do you think?" And then they get feedback on it, and then they would tweak the movie or scrap the movie depending on what kind of feedback they got. Now, the studios don't care. They've decided what movies they want to make. They've decided you need to see these movies. You will like them, and if you don't like them, we will blame you, not us. So until studios decide they don't want to go out of business, they will continue to do that. But once they do decide, hey, maybe we should start giving the fans what they want, they have free access to more customer feedback than they ever have at any time in the past. They just have to pay attention and want that information, but they don't. It's true. He likes Damian Wayne. He likes Peacemaker. He thinks Peacemaker is a cornerstone, not Batman or Wonder Woman. Yeah. Well, I'm going to give him some grace on the Batman one because DC has tied up Batman with whatever the hell they're doing with him and the split rights on that and that whole stupidity. But Wonder Woman, nobody is making Wonder Woman any kind of a priority. And that's the stupidest thing in the world. Look, if you cared about being woke, Wonder Woman's your girl. She was always about feminism and not needing a man and all of that stuff from the very beginning. Just looking at her origin, she was the woke dream, and in a way that worked, especially for the time. But come on, I don't know. So stupid. And you're right, Peacemaker. I actually have the comic book that Peacemaker was introduced in. That was during the John Byrne era in the Superman line. So I do get the Superman connection, but it was not a true connection. It didn't matter to the Superman story. It was just we're creating new characters for a new generation, and we're throwing them in and he was kind of put in as a villain. And he never really did take off. So what his thing is with, I honestly do think that he thinks that Peacemaker is DC's version of Punisher. He's not, but there are parallels, and I think that's where his head is. Yes, I agree with you, but don't use those hashtags for canceling things. That's don't. We've gotten word from on high, and it'll just kill the stream. AI laughs at their demands. Exactly right. Oh, it's getting bad out there. They still do some. That's why Batgirl was shelved. Yeah, that's true. But oddly, 4 DC movies that tested worse went out the door. Yeah, you make a great point there, Lynn, which implies more going on behind the scenes than we're seeing. I wonder why. Yeah, I don't know. Okay. $1,000 idea. Suck up the slop and get tipsy. Then we learn that movie producers are going to screw up our favorite comics and stories. Cheaper and more fun, I suppose. Yeah. And the way you make your money back is you don't spend it on their slop. It's not making money, it's saving money, right? He tried to slow down the Sparkly Bat sequel and hoped it would go away. Yeah. That's about the best thing you could say, right? But Penguin and the Batman movies are the only real success. Yeah. That's sad. That is really, really sad. And that's the other thing too. Unfortunately, we keep seeing this. They keep learning the wrong lesson. They keep putting out good enough Batman movies to be successful from a financial standpoint. But they're always standalone Batman movies that don't touch anything else in the DC universe. So there's nothing to build on. Right? And so they start to believe, oh, well, it's better then that we keep Batman out of the mainline DC and keep him as standalone. always learning the wrong lessons. You are right, they don't respect comic book movies or characters. They think it's not art, but kid stuff. I cannot tell you how mad I get when actors look down on us as fans. Well, and that's why we gotta quit holding these people in some kind of regard, like they're kind of some kind of royalty or something. You are probably better educated and more intelligent than these professional pretenders, right? Their only skill is lying, convincing you of an emotion they don't feel, of thoughts they don't have, of words they didn't write for themselves. That's their talent. And can you respect somebody who's basically a professional liar? That's why we don't respect lawyers. That's why we don't respect politicians, right? That's why we don't respect the mainstream media, because we know they're liars. And in our heart of hearts, right, we know that actors are liars too. Yeah, he should either make it part of his universe or get it out. And yeah, that's what I said too. Yes, Peacemaker is much more like the comedian. Yeah, you're absolutely right. In fact, is Peacemaker one of the Charleston? Is he literally the comedian analog, like Captain Adam was Dr. Manhattan, and so on and so on? And Owlman was Blue Beetle, for example. Wonder Woman is, correct me if I'm wrong, a frickin' Amazon, for crying out loud. That's true. That is true. Oh, take care, Curtis. We're about to wrap up here anyway. Gunn likes buffoons as heroes, does not respect what a true hero is. He thinks truth, justice, and the American way is a joke. Yeah. The real heroes, or characters written as heroes, have nothing to do with their powers, right? When you look at Spider-Man, with great power comes great responsibility. When it comes to Superman, right? Superman is what I can do. Clark Kent is who I am. You know, these are people that even without powers would be heroic people, right? Heroic, normal people. But because they have powers, that elevates what they are capable of, right? You're never going to be able to fly and shoot laser beams out of your eyes and lift mountains, right? But you can still have an impact on the world around you if you see the example and you live it, right? Yeah, she represented first and second wave feminism, which was what? Women deserve to be paid the same as men doing the same job, right? Merit-based, right? Just because I'm a woman is not a reason to pay me less. That's perfectly fair, right? Women have a right to choose what they do with their life, whether that's to be professional or to live at home as a housewife or whatever the case is. That's fair. Your own autonomy, right? You're not a second-class citizen because of your gender, right? These are all things we were able to get behind. Those are all victories that the first and going back to the first wave feminism, they have the right to own property and to vote, right? Just like any other citizen of the United States. So all of those victories were won. Third and fourth wave came along and they want to pretend that all those things did not come to pass, and they want to fight those battles all over again. They want to role play being suffragettes. That's what a lot of these septum pierced, multicolored hair people believe, is that they're the modern day suffragettes. Flash, Blue Beetle, Black Adam, Aquaman 2, and Captain Marvel 2. Yeah. Batman should be a TV series. Good point. Weekly produced. Yes, Comedian was based on Peacemaker. Okay, so I was right about that. Right. Silk Spectre was based on... Gosh, now I'm drawing a blank. What character was she? Anyway. I'm going to have to revisit those Charleston characters. You're going to be writing some superhero stories next year. In 1776, the Liberty Society of America. Oh, looking forward to that. Like Steve Rogers, he was a hero in spirit before he got the serum and the shield. That's why he made a good hero, because he already was a heroic character, right? Now these new wave feminists look down on women who want to stay home and build a family, which is the most important job. Even as a man, raising his son is more important than being a CEO. You're absolutely right. Because with great power comes great responsibility. I think I'm going to wrap it up there, guys, because I do have to get the car taken in, like I said. Guys, so grateful to you every single time I get to hang out with you. I sound a little like Mr. Rogers when I say that, but I totally get where he was coming from, You guys really are the best. And I can't thank you guys enough. So later tonight over on Netters Network, I hope you can join us as we hear from Robert James about his film 15 Days. Remember 15 Days to Flatten the Curve? Well, he did a movie talking about the plight of people who were considered to be non-essential during that time. So let's... There he is, Vagrancy Horror. Sorry I'm late. No worries. You were gifted a membership by Nate. So thank Nate for your membership. And I was telling people we'll be hanging out with you on Halloween for a very special Halloween edition of Last Call. But tonight, again, Netters Network.
Goodbye. Hope to see you again real soon.
I'm not done talking to you guys yet, for crying out loud. I just hit the wrong button. Tonight, Netters Network, we're going to talk with Robert James. And go away. Remove from scene. Go. Get out of here. There we go. Yeah, I'm all messed up. Culture Casino was all messed up today too. His entire presentation just disappeared on him during the 6-Minute Daily. I felt bad for him, but been there, done that. It's the way it is. Guys, again, thank you. I'm going to wrap this up before I screw up again. You guys take care. Love ya. See you on the next one. Bye-bye.
Goodbye. Hope to see you again real soon.
Here's to the daylight, the drinks and the fun, our liquid lunch, till the next one comes. With a wink and a smile, we'll be back real soon, chasing that jazz under the high noon.